I'm gonna probably start like some of these yaps with like a beforehand anecdote to kind of like summarize it before you listen to it to like I don't know explain it because like isn't it, like the way I describe this is like a like an internet fucking like diary type shit. So it's like it's supposed to be getting my thoughts out, and I don't really explain my thoughts all too well in this one. The reason why is because I'm talking about things that kind of like to my core I've always had a very hard time explaining and saying them in a way that actually makes sense to people and is probably which is like the main like source of my like anxiety and like my existential like dread towards loneliness. So like yeah, I have a very and whenever I tried to explain this to people before, they never seemed to really fully understand or they weren't really able to like actually get what I mean because I would be so confused while explaining it. So that's why in this like whole thing, I'm like really sad and like unable to like fully like actually explain myself. So keep that in mind. It's gonna be kind of like hard to parse. Also, I say my birthday's today in this one, but it's actually as of uploading this video, it's my birthday was yesterday on the 16th. Hi guys, it's my birthday today. It's my freaking birthday. I'm 22 years old. I called some family today. It was alright. But yeah, I'm doing a yap because it's my birthday. Let me turn on this game. It's gonna be pretty loud. And I don't want to overdoing my fucking voice. So main volume, we're gonna take that down to like 35. Just so it's like not super loud. But yeah, it's my birthday today, and fucking I don't really know how I feel about it. Because if I'm being completely honest, you know how people like have like, oh, 1 year closer to death, right? And it's not explicitly like that for me, but at the same time, it does still feel like I don't know. I'm not really scared of growing old and dying. I just don't want to, you know? Like, like, you see, what I have an idea of what I'm going to be in the future. I want to be a cool old person that people are like, damn. That people like fucking think are like, yeah, they aged well. It's like everybody's gonna fucking. I want to be one of those people who like are known for just being respectful, awesome people, you know? And so it does make me look forward to. Fuck off. It does make me look forward to, I guess, my future of being an old person. Because, yeah, like, I used to, like, people don't like the, like the idea of their body falling apart, but there's also, like, there's also the experience that comes with just, I don't know, being... I don't know how to describe it all that well, if I'm being completely honest, like, how exactly I feel about it, because it's not entirely negative. Like, but it's also not really, like, I'm not in any rush. I definitely don't want to grow old, ever, but it's like, if I'm going to grow old anyways, why the fuck am I should at least find a way to look forward to it instead of just moping about it and being like, I'm gonna be old, I'm gonna die. And that's sort of kind of like how I've been like coping with a lot of stuff. Like for instance, there was a bit where I didn't like going to work in the morning and I wanted to quit my job even though it would have been really stupid because my brain was going all wild and I just wasn't thinking straight, and so I had to change my mindset, my view on shit, because if I didn't, then I was gonna fucking like slog out and become depressed. So I went from basically viewing my work as less of like something that I have to wake up and do every single fucking day, and to rather the thing I'm doing every single day is getting tired, coming home, and relaxing. I looked at it more in the light of actually like full on like, how the fuck do I say it? Oh, that's right, I'm not using a shield. I started seeing it as more of a reward afterwards. Like, instead of looking the opposite. the opposite of looking forward, right? I started, what's the word? Instead of dreading, yeah, instead of dreading going to work, I decided to start looking forward to heading home. Like, see the positive in it, I guess. And that had to help me a lot actually enjoy work, because now I was no longer associating it with the feeling of not doing what I want to do, and more of like with the feeling of getting to leave the place I don't want to be and heading to a place I do want to be, you know. And that shift in perspective, I think is something that could probably help like other people with like, I don't know, just not hating everything in their fucking life, I guess. I know that's like kind of preachy, and I don't want to come off as somebody who like that's like, you know, dictating what you should think and what you should do, because obviously that's not what I'm doing. It's more or less just like a suggestion that I think would help, right? And that's how whenever I explain it to other people, which is, hey, why don't you try doing this? This is what I do. Like, you know, because it helps me. And I don't know. My back hurts. I got hit by, I mentioned whenever I was hit by the car that my back stopped hurting, but now it's starting to hurt again, like be weird, intense, and I don't know, I don't really like it. Bro, okay, I'm getting angry. I can't even pay attention, really, when I'm playing this game. Like, Terraria is, like, one thing, but Dead Cells is, like, a whole other beast where I have to actually pay attention. I was just not feeling like, that's not Terraria. I don't know. It's making me, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about being older. I didn't want to be 22, man. I had so many jokes I was going to make about 21 that I didn't do. Like, because one of my favorite videos on the internet was, when I put 10, 21. I like constantly referenced it all the time before I was 21. And I said to myself, I promised myself when I was 21, I was going to make that joke so often. And I definitely said it more often, a little bit, but not as near as much as I initially like said I was going to do, which is weird, because there was nothing stopping me. I just didn't do it. I guess I didn't care, and it makes me think. Did I actually care about this stuff in the first place? Like, it makes me think I don't know who I am. And like, it's not just about being on my birthday, being old, feeling, it's like, do I truly understand myself and get who I am? Like, why don't I want to grow older? Why do I just want to stay exactly who I am? Is it because I'm scared of changing when I already don't really exactly have a full-on grip of who I already am? Like, why I'm not even fully certain, I guess, who I am currently. So why do I want to change even more and be feel even more like a stranger to myself? And to, I guess, my body, in a sense, but not really. It can kind of be moved back into, like, fucking, like, oh, gender, oh, body shit, not feeling who I am, but it's, like, it's mostly more to do with, like, my own, like, I don't know, own, like, ego. And I don't mean ego in, like, egotistical type way. I mean ego of, like, who I am. Like, what is me? What am I? You know? I mean, this is shit that I never really thought about too hard during my birthday. Like, I always, for some reason, kinda never felt super right on my birthday. Right? But I couldn't exactly pinpoint why. And because I never was able to think about it properly, because I was like, growing up, I was very heavily dissociating with my emotions. I was very heavily trying to pretend I was anything but who I was. I hated being who I was. I didn't like what I was and what I could become in the future. I didn't see it as like I didn't see it as anything other than what I wanted to be. And like earlier when I was on the phone, I was thinking about how whenever I finally did get my hands on HRT and finally like got my injection and got a whole ass 0.5 milligrams shot into my thigh, right? And after like 15 minutes, it's like a cloud, like a fog lifted from my brain, and that entire feeling that I've always felt, every single time, even before I got onto estrogen and all that stuff, it was, I could look back and I was aware that it just was all foggy. Like none of my memories felt really coherent and or real. They all just kind of felt like dreams. I never felt normal. I never felt right. And now that I'm becoming more different in the sense of like I'm growing older, like I'm continuing that to get that feeling where it's like, I don't feel foggy anymore. I'm moving in the right direction. I know that. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. Like I'm going home on Thanksgiving to visit my family, and I am going to, basically, I'm going to be who I am now. I'm going to be wearing dresses, makeup, all that stuff. Half of my family, not half of mine, 3 of my siblings already know, the rest of them don't know. There are some people who would be chill with it, but they'd have like like a fucking big mouth and they would talk about it. And they'll tell my dad before I get there, and then he would get all weird. And he would think of me in a light that is not true. Because when I get there, I'll look more feminine than I previously did back home. I'm gonna wear makeup, I'm gonna put on eyelashes. I'm going to be wearing a dress, and he's not going to be able to view me in that light until we actually get there. So I don't want to put a preconceived notion in his head that I'm going to be a certain way, because I want him to see me and realize that I don't want because I'm not even going to get to say anything to him when I first come out of the airport. I'm going to see if he even fucking notices to me, because I'm going to look so different when I'm going to look a hella different, right? I wanna know if he even notices me at first, because he has a massive prejudice. He has preconceived notions about how trans people are due to the current climate of the political state, because that's all he ever believes. Because old guy. So it's like, I'll let him think what he thinks about those people without him knowing that I'm one of those people. And whenever I show up and he's gonna have to just grapple and grip with me being nothing what he thought. Without any preparation. I want it to shatter his fucking world. So I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not gonna tell anybody in my family who has the inability to keep secrets. I'm gonna show up there, and I'm not gonna look explicitly like, oh, so pretty. I don't care about that. All that's going to matter is that I'm going to look different, and I'm going to look nothing at what he thinks I'm supposed to look like if I were to come out to him before I got there. And yeah. Everything's changing. I'm changing, the world's changing. My age has changed to a new fucking number. Whoopee! Whoopee! New number, guys! New number! It means so much, this new number. It doesn't. It just makes me feel old. But yeah, fucking god damn it. Being 22 is stressing me out. That is one thing for certain. Like, whether or not I am happy about being older or not happy about being older. It's like, oh, another year. It's like, one thing I know for certain is that being this age is stressing me out. So I can come to the conclusion that on some level it's not making me very happy. But that's just because I've lived my entire life very scared of death. And it's a very new thing for me to not be scared of death, while also not wanting to die. Because I've tried to commit suicide before, wanting to kill myself, but it's like, the thing that held me back was my fear of death, you know? So it's like, it's a very new thing for me. to not be scared of dying, but also not wanting to die. And I just don't know who exactly I am anymore. Like, I'm happier now that I know for certain, like, what I am. I just don't know who I am anymore. And I wouldn't say I'm, like, incapable of coping, but it's more of just, like, having a harder time actually just grapple with it. With who I am. And what exactly I am in this world. What does any of this shit mean, you know? If I could make sense of it. Of this crazy fucking world. Oh, that would be so nice. Just to have the answers to everything. But also, I don't know. It's really fun discovering new shit. I love, going through my my life, getting excited over new things, like, buy it all. So it's not all bad not knowing things. Because if I did know everything, like, what the fuck would I even do? Like, a part of my philosophy in living is that one of the main points of our species and evolution is perpetuation, right? And dopamine is what perpetuates us. But looking at it for me personally on a more emotional standpoint, I tend to view the perpetuation of things as more of just moving forward than just straight up perpetuating for the sake of being alive, right? Like, I'm not living to breathe and to eat. I'm living to move forward and like move forward in time, move forward in space, to walk into a different room to get better at art, right? As long as I'm moving forward and getting better at something and improving upon anything, as long as I'm seeing progress in any direction, even if that means the click on a clock, the fucking a new paycheck, my bank account having a new figure I've never seen before, like a higher figure, then I have to be doing something right, right? Like, I'm not dead and I'm better than I was a month ago. So it can't be all that bad. You know? And that's sort of kind of my philosophy on living, and why I should live in the first place. 'Cause if I can improve upon myself, maybe I can mean something to somebody. And maybe I can help other people. Because that's all I ever wanted. Because I look back into my past, and I realized just how incredibly lonely I was. I never had a lot of friends. Whenever I would get friends, I'd very rarely actually get close to them. And so often when I did get close to them, it blew up in my face. And, it was so easy for people to hate me, to dismiss me, to just ignore that I existed, and when they did ignore me, it was more or less just them kind of seeing me as weird, thinking I was some strange case, thinking I was going to lose my shit and be a fucking school shooter. That's something somebody told me. They thought I was a shooter, right? And that's why I stopped showing up at school, or something like that. I'm just like, no. I stopped showing up at school because I had a mental breakdown. Not because I'm a fucking a psychopathic idiot who's gonna kill everybody. And I just finished school early in like a different course that wasn't the main course, right? And that's how people always kind of viewed me. I don't mean for that to be the case. I was just always kind of weird. And whenever I realized nobody liked me, I just sort of kind of stopped talking to people. I didn't want to be around anybody anymore, not even people who were quote-unquote my friends, because, like, if they really were my friends, why did they only talk to me when I talk to them? And it's always so brief, they're always so eager, I don't know, to... and maybe they're not eager per se, but they don't seem like they actually want to be around me, right? I forgot where I was going with this. But I don't know. I guess this has something to do with, like, looking back on my past and perpetuating, like, oh yeah, because, like, I've always wanted people to like me, and it always has bothered me that people would have perceived, like, preconceived notions about me, right? And I don't know, I just want to be something. Whether that, if I can't be that for anybody else, like, maybe I can just be that for myself. And through being something through my, through myself, maybe someone can connect to that. You know? Whether that be them, like, watching something I do, me actually helping with a difference, like, with somebody helping them in whatever fucking way. I don't know, I'm getting confused. I'm starting to, like... ugh, my brain. I don't know. I'm getting really scatterbrained right now. I'm like a bunch of thoughts in my brain, in my head that have like always been there. I've always tried saying, but I can't. I don't really know how to put my finger on saying them. And I guess that kind of goes into the reason why people don't tend not to understand me, because what are you supposed to understand whenever I can't understand myself? You know. It's not really their fault. Sure, it would help if they even bothered to try. And maybe that's like a part of it, because nobody really wants to try to understand me or like get to know me. They just kind of want to kick me out. So it's like, what do I do? What do we do? What do we do? By the end of the day, what does it all even matter? Why should I care about you whenever you don't care about me? But that's not how we live. That's not how we should think about things. We should think, if nobody else is going to be there for me, the least I can do is keep going. At the very least. Because I'm not fucking stopping. I will perpetuate myself. I will improve upon myself. I'll do literally anything that needs to be done. And I won't ever fucking stop. No matter what that means to me. And that's sort of kind of my outlook on things. And how I feel about my stupid fucking birthdays that stress me out. I don't know. I'm gonna let myself like think for a little bit and just play this game. I'll be back whenever I get a new thought. You know, I think I mentioned in the past that I really want to do this yap with somebody. Like, kind of badly. Because there's people I really like, right? That make me feel less lonely. But I just... I don't know, I don't know if this is, like, selfish, I guess. But I wish I had more people that, like, actually, like, understood me. I don't know. I'm getting depressed. Like, I'm feeling really depressed right now. I'm also talking kind of quiet, so I'm gonna bring my mic closer to me. But I want to do shit with people. Like, there's people who talk to me, yeah, and I love them so much. Oh, especially like a couple of them, right? Oh, I love them so dearly. They're very good people, and I know, but I'm not even anywhere near them, for one. So it's kind of hard. Like, yeah, sure, I love these people. They're awesome. I even told them I love them, right? And they told me they love me back, right? They're good people, and they're awesome. But I live nowhere near them, personally. And on top of that, it just makes it harder. Especially since, like, sometimes one of, like, one of them is like, it's like, I don't even know if they really actually all that want me around sometimes. I don't, and I know it's irrational, and they've told me why, what's up, and why they do that sometimes. It's not anything to do with me, but it's really, really hard whenever my brain is the way it is, and like how I overthink, and how I always, I don't know, feel at odds with myself, right? Like, it's just really hard to convince myself that those same things, you know? I want to do things with people. I'm so tired of doing everything alone. I'm so tired of sometimes having to, and even then when I try to rely on other people, it always doesn't, it never ends up well. The communication dies out, and it's like it's like once again I'm doing everything alone. It's not that I've ever put any effort into it, you know? Into building up relationships and trying to, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, like, have something that lasts. It's just that, I guess I never really felt like the same thing back before. Especially back home. I mean, these days, I have maybe, like, one or two people who do genuinely try. And they actually do get me more than anybody ever has, you know? But, especially back home, there isn't really anybody who actually understood me even slightly. It was really disheartening, like, always getting to know people, and eventually, within, like, a couple months, oh, I knew, like, I could tell them things about them, right? And they would agree, they would full-on feel satisfied whenever I was actually, like, I'd actually be able to understand them and get to them and, like, help them out, right? But then, when it came to be my turn for that same support, they wouldn't even know what the fucking ever say to me. In fact, half the time they just get weirded out. Half the time they just wouldn't fucking give a shit. They would ignore me. And, like, I don't know, how am I supposed to feel like I'm worth anything to anybody if it always just ends with them just not really actually caring? You know? If they don't even know the most basic shit about me. So it's like, how am I supposed to think this shit? Like, is it so hard? Is it really that big of a task of an ass to, I don't know, have some fucking, like, effort on both sides? Like sure, maybe it's a little selfish to expect something from somebody and, like, have expectations, but, like, my expectations are never too realistic. It's just to have, like, a base understanding, you know? And to not, like, be like, because, like, it's not even the fact that I don't even have that, because, especially one of them, oh my god, she's so great. Oh, she's so great. She actually does genuinely get me. Like, she mentioned something to me, and I was just like, I never really told her what I was into when it comes to video games. Or maybe I did, but either way, she told me about Peak, and she's like, oh yeah, this shit is so up your alley, right? I was like, yeah, it's up my alley, and then she fucking said why it was up my alley. And it was really satisfying, it was nice. She was right. Of the exact reason why it was, oh, it's Tim. And for the exact reason why it actually was up my alley. Like, the first person ever to really get anything right about my personality, which is crazy to me. Especially since my personality is, like, all over the place, dude. Like, I'll be the first to admit that, like, yeah, I'm kind of fucking crazy, and I kind of just, I'm, like, here and there all the time, so it's like, yeah. It's like, meh. It's just, I don't know, because of my past, it's, like, really hard for me to have any real feelings of, like, self-worth. It is really hard for me to be able to rely on people, especially since right now, like I was trying to rely on somebody to help me, but it just didn't turn out too well. Like, the reliance showed to be fickle. And it stressed me out even more, made me feel even more uncertain about my future. So it's like, you know what? I need to look after myself. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm actually doing that again. Like, trying to look out for myself and shit. And I'm just really tired of always feeling this way. Like, nobody really out there really wants to put any genuine fucking effort that actually matters. I don't know. It's always so... It feels superficial is what I guess I'm saying. And maybe I'm being selfish, like I've already mentioned. But it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to feel, man? Like, sometimes, like, am I just supposed to, like, feel alright about this shit? Like, no. It doesn't feel good to be misunderstood and constantly given labels that don't match you at all. For people to say things about you and then think that they have you pinned down and yet be so fucking utterly wrong. Like, people are so confidently wrong about me all the time. It's kind of crazy how little they actually fucking understand anything about me. And then they would be so fucking confident they're correct. It's like, it's genuinely, like, actually kind of, it's shocking how wrong somebody can be sometimes about things. And then how confident they can be that they're correct. Oh, shit. I didn't even know I was that close to that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the weather today. Dude, my birthday has been pretty alright because of the weather so far. I met this cat. I'm gonna put some images of the cat on screen. Because I think it's worth looking at this guy. He's super goofy. He's really chill. I see him every once in a while. He's a nice cat, right? Or she. I don't know which one. Right? But, like, it doesn't really matter. Who gives a fuck? And I don't know. I just kind of like... how do I put this? The weather has been great. It's overcast. It's been thundering. It's all dark outside and shit. It's the type of weather I like. Cool. And it's like, it feels kind of lucky out of all the days of it being so super sunny that today of all days would be weather that I prefer the most. And I'm still hearing the thunder outside. It's really nice. I like it. I don't know. I kind of often feel very lucky. Things just sort of tend to often just kind of work out for me and go my way. For instance, I already mentioned like a trillion billion times, like how I got hit by a fucking car, or I'm always in situations where I should have came out of situations like really hurt, but just never am. So it's like, it feels weird. It just feels weird. I'm tired. And like, I don't know, you ever feel like tired? And like, kind of like, like there's a good tired and a bad tired. I'm somewhere both at the same time. And like right now I feel tired in the kind of depressed way, but I also feel tired in the sleepy, relaxed, chilled way. Like, I'm just home and I'm doing whatever. Without really worrying about much, but I can't help but feel lonely at the same time. I don't know, it's kind of weird feeling. So, now I'm curious, because what is the most magic damage if that's not it? Most magic damage output pre-hard mode. You know what? I'm gonna skedaddle. I kind of want to watch these videos now. Bye. I'll be back in a bit. I'll try to yap a bit more later as well. Thought of more shit to say. Honestly, like, most of the time, I only feel like I'm good for anybody if I'm, like, I don't know, like, doing something for them. I don't know how to put it, like, I've noticed a pattern in the past, like, anytime I'm, like, I guess, like, a burden, I'm just sort of kind of, like, ignored. Or if I'm not, like, actively talking to them, I'm, like, I'm just being ignored, right? Like, I don't know how to say it properly. It's like, anytime someone's down, like, they oftentimes come to me, right? And which then I will talk to them, as I do, as like a friend, right? But and then it's my turn, right? But then they don't really care. It feels like it's like they always tell me, it's like, oh, I'm not really good at this stuff. I can't do this. I can't do that for you. I'm just like, that's fine. I don't know. It just makes me really not want to open up to anybody. Because whenever I do, it's just like, I'm just gonna be told that they can't do anything. Like, at the very least, like, can't you at least try? Instead of just saying to me that you won't. I don't, it's just, sometimes it's like disheartening knowing that, like, they're not, I mean, knowing that they're not gonna put any effort in, you know? And it's like, I don't know, then you get people who try, like, way too hard. It's only ever happened with, like, one person. I've already mentioned this person before. They were gross and disgusting towards me, and they were trying way too hard to be, like, something. And then I did something that I didn't want, by the way. But at the same time, they were a very emotionally manipulative, very aggressive person. And it's like, yeah, they were trying, but their form of trying was so unbelievably toxic and unhealthy that it completely had the opposite effect where I just wish they would leave me the fuck alone. They have, like, zero understanding of me. And they never took the effort to understand me. They just would actually pretend. So never mind. They weren't trying. They were just pretending to try while saying they were trying whenever they weren't, even slightly. Because if they were, then they would actually come to some form of understanding instead of just continuing to be aggressive and actually just, you know, because last time I checked, whenever you put effort into things, you eventually get good at them, even if you suck ass at it at first, right? That's how it's always been with me, personally. But that's just not how it turns out in the end. That's not how it turned out with them. That's not how it turned out with, like, a lot of people, I guess. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too, like, expectant of people at this point. Like, it hurts even more whenever I, like, come to somebody, someone comes to me for this type of help, that they ask me for it, and then whenever I come to them, then they tell me that they won't be able to, and even furthermore, that they're not going to try. It's very, very fucking hurtful to know that, like, they expect me to be a friend towards them, yet they're not gonna show the same back to me. I don't know. Again, it goes back to the whole, like, fucking selfish thing, where it feels really selfish, and I don't know, it probably is. To like, expect something in return. But I don't know. I'm very sick and tired of never getting anything in return, though. I want something back every once in a while, but it hasn't happened. I just feel like it will happen. And that's what makes me not really want to open up to, like, actually open up to people. Like, at least in the past. Now I'm, like, so desperate to open up to people, I'd be like, fucking saying whatever. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about how, like, people bullied me in school, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. I guess I'll go into it anyways, because, like, why the fuck not? But, like, back in junior high, kids really started disliking me, right? They kept on finding me, trying to beat me up, and the thing is, though, if they would have came at me in like the 5th or 6th grade, there's probably not a lot I could have done. But I was at a point in junior high where I was genuinely capable of defending myself, and since I was like held back a grade or two, 2 grades, I was also a little bit older than some of the people there. And of course, there were still kids who were like a year above me, right? And initially, whenever I first came to school, I was a year younger than everybody. So because for some reason I started school early. So I was more or less just on the same level of like usually the kids a year right above me when it came to like how developed I was. So it's like I wasn't really actually like more or less like buff than everybody, right? Or just, I don't know, capable in that sense. So like kids kept on trying to fight me. Kids who were like also like bigger than me kept on trying to fight me. But it never really ended up well for them because they expected me, because I was short and I was like kind of fat, to just kind of be like a really easy target and roll over. But I always rode my bike to school. I always was like fighting my own brothers. I got into fights constantly with one of my brothers, right? And just, you know, I did shit that made me like kind of healthy at the time. And because of that, people weren't really stronger than me, so they would expect a short little fat kid to, I guess, flop over and die, but then I would just beat the shit out of them. And on top of that, I was like really angry back then. So like I would bite and scratch, and there's often times they would bleed afterwards. So they slowly in junior high they stopped fighting me until eventually at the end of it nobody talked to me anymore. Because the only time I was ever acknowledged whenever people didn't like me and wanted to hurt me, or it was specifically like, I don't know. People never came to me just because they wanted to be around me. And it's still like that. It feels like there's one person that I actually genuinely feel like as if they messaged me just because they want to talk to me, right? Because, I don't know, because like, anytime these days somebody wants to message me, it's always because they have something like they want. It's always because they have like fucking baggage. And like, yes, I want to be there for this person like badly. Like I will always fucking be there and message back and reply back, like no matter what, because I really like being there for people, right? But it's like it starts to have a toll on me where like the only time people want to anything to do with me is if it's like if there's like a purpose to it. I'm never the reason why, you know? It's like, and like, yeah, like I said, it goes into like it being kind of selfish. Like, why should it be about me? It shouldn't be about me, like, duh. But it's like it's always about them though. Like, why can't I have a turn and then they get mad at me whenever I try to make it about me, you know? So it's like, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for, I guess, spinning this in a way. And it's not even that they get mad at me, it's more of like, they, like, sort of kind of just, I can tell they get annoyed and sometimes they call me out on it. But it's always, like, immediately. They're always like saying, hey, like you did this, but it's like you can say this, but like there's not much I can do. Hey, you can say this, but like it's just gonna stress me out. Hey, you can do this, and it's always like, or it's just like, hey, can we like not talk about this? Oh, can we not do this? Can we not do that? It's like, oh, I don't want to hear this from you, stuff like that. And then when they come to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, totally. And then we talk about it, and they feel fucking better after it, and it's like. I'm just... I don't know. I don't really feel like much of, like, an equal to anybody. I don't feel like I'm really, like, worth anything else. Because, I don't know. It's like comparatively I don't matter. And that's kind of how I always felt. And how I currently feel, too. Like, in comparison to everyone else, I'm kind of just something that is like a burden whenever I can be used as somebody help make people feel better. Like I can be used as like an outlet, but the moment I need an outlet, it's like, I don't know, throw me aside, kick me out of my fucking home, I guess. Like, it's like in every situation I've ever been, it's always like, can we please get rid of this person now? I have never once been in a situation where it's like, where I was just allowed to fucking, like, I don't know, be myself without, like, upsetting somebody, or, like, being kind of viewed as, like, too much. Because I've had friends in the past, but they... I don't know, the moment I even show, like, a fucking inkling of, like, anything, they would just get really upset with me. And it doesn't matter what it was. It's always like that. And then they would... And whenever I tried confiding that in somebody, they said no one likes that people pleaser. And it's like, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. What the fuck was I thinking? Like, what do I do? I don't... feel like I fucking belong anywhere anymore. The world's so crazy. It's like, where am I even supposed to go if I can't, like, by myself I can't really afford anything. I've been trying really hard to get commissions to do, like, other stuff, but it's like... It's like, even when I'm around people, I don't feel like I belong. It's just, just someone they talk at, never to. A tool to burn your blunts on, to use your fucking punching bag, but the moment I wanna be anything but a fucking, a conversational, like, fucking object to them, it's like, now it's, like, weird. We're supposed to, but just fucking, like, people, like, I guess a good analogy is, like, I'm not fucking Woody from the Toy Stories. My whole existence isn't, like, making you happy, man. Like, it's like you either fucking exist for someone or you don't fucking exist at all. You're just a lifeless fucking... I feel like a lifeless fucking doll to them. Like, what else am I to them? If not the thing that just flops over and doesn't exist whenever I'm not, like, immediately, like, useful or, like... I don't know, something to, like, make them feel better. Like, yeah, I like making people feel better. It gives me a form of fulfillment whenever I'm there for somebody. But it's like... I'm not Woody from fucking Toy Story, dog. That's not the only thing I care about. Like, can't I be, like... important too, and like have my own autonomy without it like weirding you out, like, please?